Of course I had to do Blade second. I mean, come on, he's the Shell, Star-Lord, and Blade, S and B. If I missed anything, please let me know in the comments. You guys are awesome, and I hope you learned a thing or two. Okay, bye! Alright, let's get into it. What are Blade's wall break moves? Vampire Slayer, medium version. Vampire Slayer, EX version. And in the air, Vampire Slayer, light version are what break the wall or wall slump. So, just like every other character, or at least I would imagine, any double EX move instantly flips out. So just something to keep in mind. You cannot use 2 EX moves, or you'll get the force flip out. Blade doesn't have this restriction with any of his other moves, just the EX versions. When it comes down to Blade's movement, he doesn't really have any unique movement. He has jump down heavy, which just stops his momentum. And he has stakes, which if they hit, he teleports to the opponent. Do be warned that if you do this, you have to call an assist immediately when it hits, or they can punish you. But yeah, he's very fast. He's probably one of the fastest characters on the ground. He just chases you down. That's pretty much it. There's nothing too crazy here. You know, air dashing just like everybody else. But that's pretty much it. Now let's talk about Blade's buttons. Lights are pretty standard. Not too much to talk about there. His medium, this is an amazing button. Heavy also goes really far. I would try to avoid crouching medium unless you're point blank. I've had this move whiff a lot and then I just explode for it. Just think of it as a non-existent button unless you're in auto combo range. When it comes to his air buttons, you're more than likely going to want to hit forward heavy because of the range, or jump medium. These buttons go extremely far. They're definitely your better buttons out of air dash. His jump heavy from air dash, a little inconsistent unless you time it perfectly, so I would just stick to forward heavy and jump medium. Last thing to note, down heavy. It's pretty cool because you can do something like this to trip up your opponent. You know, pretend you're going to cross up and then just get a conversion off of it in some capacity. I usually don't talk about 2Hs in these, but Blade has a really brawling 2H. His down heavy, it's really high up. Yeah, if they're jumping, you think they're pretty high up, you could throw this out pretty liberally. Let's move on to Blade specials. The first one is guns. You know, kind of similar to Star-Lord, right? It basically does the same thing. However, if you do the medium version, you can actually throw a stake if it hits and pick up off of it. Same thing, EX version, you throw a stake. Doesn't matter if you're airborne or if you're on the ground, you can throw a stake and combo off of it. And you can do it even if they're blocking. But again, you know, if you do if they're blocking, call an assist, cover yourself. When it comes to Vampire Cleave, you won't really use the light or the medium version in neutral, but the EX version is almost a full screen jump scare. Like, look at this. That's one way to use it. If it's not in a combo, it's just a giant full screen jump scare if you want to start some pressure and just get in your opponent's face. The air versions, this hits overhead, but I don't know if it'd be a good mix. Experiment. Let me know if it works out for you. You could try to do something like this. Fit in a cheeky little overhead, but yeah, it's just good to know that's overhead, but it's typically combo food or wall break with the light version. Vampire Cleave in the air. When it comes to Vampire Slayer, the light version is an anti-air. The medium version you can combo, which I'll show later how you do that. EX version, really easy to combo into. Again, these versions are either your, oh hey, I called my assist and I want to do something for them, and then tag to let them go for a mix-up of some sort. In some instances, combo from. The cool thing about light Vampire Slayer is if you get a counter hit, you can actually combo off of it. So just something to keep in mind. You can throw the stakes and convert off of it. Now let's get into Glaive, or round trip as I like to call it. Shouts to Virgil. It's a projectile boomerang type move where if you throw it out, it'll come back to you. It has some cool stuff like pulling the opponent out of the corner, so you can go for a left-right mix-up. If you find ways to land the medium one, it keeps them blocking for a long time. That's 1 second right there. That's 61 frames, which translate to 1 second and 1 frame. So the cool thing about the EX version of Glaive is that it will always make the opponent stay on the Glaive. The light version and the medium version, not so much. So these are ways of how you'll end your pressure in a safe way. Using EX Glaive is a way to keep your block string safe, as you can jump out of it, at least the first interaction. But if you do the light one, be warned that if you use the light version, they can jump it and punish you just like that. You can also do it in the air to try to cover the airspace as well. One little weird detail about it too is if you don't catch it, you don't have access to it for a while. You see I'm doing the input and the game just didn't let me. I'll do it again with simple input. Look at that. But if you catch it, you can use it way earlier. So just keep that in mind. If you miss it somehow and it goes off screen, maybe like 3 seconds probably, that you can't use it. One of the cool things about Glaive is if you throw it out and you back off, even if you get caught blocking, it comes back and hits the opponent. So now what they thought was their turn is now your turn. The last special move we have is Blade's counter. I don't think it's very good. Maybe you can use it if you're getting zoned to get a mark of death for free. Even if you land the move, you can't combo off of it or anything. You can't call assist. You know, I'm mashing. It's just, it puts them in a state where they're already invulnerable right after the move ends. You just can't do anything off of it. It's more trouble than it's worth. Alright, let's talk about Blade's unique states. So this move can track if you don't hold it in a direction. So here's me not holding in a direction and it aims towards my opponent. If you manually do it, you can throw it in any direction that you want. The one thing about it is if you throw it without any assist, you can get punished, so be very mindful of that. As I showed earlier, you can do some things like this where you can steal a turn. There's a lot of unique ways to use the stakes. For example, if you're fighting a Spider-Man and they're kind of just zipping around like this, you can try to aim where he's gonna go to catch him off guard. I guess the last thing to add is if you land the hit, the stakes don't get shot at any different speed if you aim it or if you don't aim it. It's only when you're in neutral that they fire slower or faster if you aim it. So look at the startup difference, 35 versus 22. It's a pretty big difference when you're aiming and not aiming in neutral. I feel like I should include this cool little fun fact. If you do land a stake, you can actually cancel the teleport into an attack. When you land a stake on an opponent, you get a buff called Mark of Death. So as you can see, Blade's sword is not glowing red. As soon as you hit it, it glows red. Now, what exactly does this do? It gives you new routes. So for example, here's Vampire Slayer without the buff, and now here it is with the buff. They go into a tumble and it lets you get a combo off. One of the examples that I can show you where you can use this is, say you land a hit like this, that you're not close enough to the corner where you wall break, and you can get a full combo from it. It just gives you so many conversions you can't normally do. Here it is, Mark of Death without the buff off Vampire Cleave. Now, this is what it looks like with the buff. It just gives you so much combo potential, and then you can just go back into it if you want. Do note that to reload it, you do have to hit down and U, and one way that you can find room to actually do this is, let's say you make them flip out like this and then you reload on the recovery. Now we have Blade's assist. His shooter assist, straightforward, just his L version of the guns. His anti-air assist is his LDP, you know, true anti-air. Like, look at, I get punched, he doesn't even care. It's amazing. His assault assist is crazy because even if he whiffs, he still does the second part anyway. He just doesn't go behind you. And it also pulls the opponent out of the corner. Third slot, second slot, first slot, doesn't matter. They're all amazing. Blade's air assist is great if you're trying to hit somebody full screen or if you're getting zoned. Okay, so what's Blade's game plan? Well, you really want to use your speed to your advantage as you're one of the fastest characters in the game. Kind of be annoying from full screen because any one hit can just lead you into wall breaking, getting a full combo, getting a conversion of some sort. You don't really have any mix-ups yourself, but you do give your team mix-ups. You know, you throw the Glaive right, and then it pulls him out of the corner, and you can go for an air dash left right type of mix-up. He's like Red Skull. He leads people to a treasure he cannot obtain. Shout out to Sejan for that one. Try setting up Glaive if you find a moment. Definitely the EX1, it just clears the screen for you. It's just a giant threat in front of you that just kind of lets you run in for free. It goes about 80% of the screen, 85. It's pretty big, pretty long. Be a little bit careful with the lighter strings as they do lose to EX moves themselves. Make sure to take advantage of your big buttons. You have some of the biggest buttons in the game. They probably rival Magic's if I'm being honest. Like, look at this range. So yeah, don't be afraid to use these big buttons. You know, if you have meter, spend EX to get a combo from here. If you have assist, you know, you can call assist and get confirm off of that. If you don't have any of them, you can actually use M auto combo to get some kind of combo. It's small, but hey, it's better than nothing. Once you get the hit, maybe find a way to somehow get out an EX Glaive, so you can have something meaty set up. They roll forward, you can jab them. If not, then they get hit by the Glaive on the way back. It is plus if you do it correctly, or you can set up the next character if you do something like this. You know, you knock them down, you call this character in, they come in blocking, and then you do Vampire Slayer and tag. And don't be afraid to throw out your snakes in neutral, right? All you need is just one to land for you to get the party started. If you get confused by any of the directional inputs, please refer to this image. Here's some combos to get you started.
You're gonna live.
That's another one in the books. Blade Guide is done. Who is next? Probably Magic, I would imagine. If I miss anything, please let me know. Blade's super sick. He's dope. But enjoy. Thanks for watching. I appreciate all of you guys. I really do. Thank you so much for everything. The support has been nuts. And please like, sub, comment, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.